Yeah, it's
Um,
awesome. I love it.
yeah, I do too. I will say to like I have vacation day tomorrow. My entire day is dedicated to it
Yeah.
because if my kid is here or my husband, I just can't get it done. So tomorrow, the whole day, my plan is to try and get through as much as possible. And I'm through step 5.
Awesome.
So I just
Chugging away.
started 6.
What else? What other steps are you guys on? You can chat it in the box. Or you can shout it out.
I'm on step 7 and I have the
Awesome.
same thing. Like I have a day, Thursday is going to be my day to just sit quietly and focus on
Yeah.
life.
Is it bad when your 3 banner goals turn out to be only like a personal goal and then 2 business goals and it doesn't have anything to do with anything else in your life? I know how it's like you're trying to spread it, make sure you have it all, like you have your top 10 goals and then like all of them are important obviously, and then you're trying to like, I know, narrow down the 3 important ones for this year. But I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you guys found the same thing or if you're even on that step, but
Yeah, it's tricky to figure out when you have so many goals, right? Like
yeah.
when you have a lot of things you want to do. And I think Jacqueline was saying last week too, it's like pick the goal that like if you hit it, other things are going to fall in
Yeah.
by hitting it.
Right,
So
right.
I think that's fine. Mine always is, I mean, everybody's different. Your goals are entirely yours. There's no right and there's no
Yeah.
wrong, right? And so you say you have 2 business goals and 1 personal goal. Well, your business goals are also very personal to you.
Yes,
They make personal things in your life happen.
that's
And they're
true.
just, yeah, they're the mile marker for you that allows for abundance and freedom that you're looking for. For me, it's the same. I have 2 very concrete business goals because I work really well with numbers. So for me, that's really easy to reverse engineer. So I told you guys last week, I always do a rank goal and I always do a income goal for me. And then I do one that encompasses other things in a more personal realm. And even sometimes I can't even, like this year I had a really hard time putting a word or like even like what that goal was. And it really encompassed more of, it just like encompassed taking care of doing these things. Even if I didn't hit like have everything happened, it was that I actually have all these balls in motion. It's basically like I think I wrote it as like living my magazine life or living my vision board life, because it encompassed like getting my blog going again and getting I mean, it's very defined what it is, right? On my, like, was it step 7 where they have you write it all out? Like at what point my blog is going to be republished, at what point my YouTube's going to be cleaned up, at what point I'm going to buy my more professional, like my ring light and my camera so I can start doing like proper videos in my kitchen. And at what point do I want to have like my food prep video? So I don't really have a definitive word for what that is. I just called it like living my I don't forget what I called it, living my magazine life or something like that. But I understood what it meant for me. And when I read it, I know exactly what I need to be doing. So, you know, there's no goal is like right or wrong. It's whatever you want. Who else wants to share something that came up from LYBYE? What step you're on or something you learned in the process or discovered?
I finished it last week, but I have yet to go back to it. So that's what I think I need to get on now is like, what were my goals again? But it's there. So it's written at least. That's good.
Yeah, and there actually is, of course, it's not in reaching distance for me. In the actual full workbook, the pages that we didn't have you print out, and I believe it's in the digital copy.
I printed it all.
Oh, okay. I believe there's an action plan for the rest of your year that you can be charting it along the way. I didn't print those pages yet in mine, but certainly you're right. Like this is a great process. But the process also is moot if you don't come back to it. And like very much what Moira, for those of you on Team Together Rising or did her Rise Up course, like very much what she says is you have to read your vision every single day. You have to remind yourself of your goals. And I'm a very visual person, very visual. So I don't necessarily always, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't necessarily read my goals every single day. I do because they're in my Rise Up journal, like my big banner goals, but I don't necessarily read like what I've written out to myself every single day. But what I do every single day is I live in my vision board. It's right in front of me at all times at my desk. And I know for me, I'm very visual. So I know what each image represents in my vision. So you have to know too, like I hear Moira say, read your vision, and hey, do what successful people do, right? I don't necessarily read my vision every single day, but I look inside of my vision and I process it as if I'm living it and what I need to be doing to get there, right? So
Right.
I see in my Rise Up journal what those 3 banner goals are. But keep that in mind, like everybody's slightly different, but you need to come into this thing, whether it's meditation every morning, your gratitude practice every single morning, a vision board every single day, reading your vision every single day, or using your LYBE journal and going back and doing the daily and weekly stuff. It's how it all comes together. I saw someone write, not here, but on our team page in a chat, she's like, I put so much work into it last year and it didn't work out. And I was like, well, did you do the stuff? But I mean, also 2020 was like, nobody shit worked out last year. You know, like, yeah, 2020 was a hard year. But it's like, you have to do the process after.
Totally.
I even, I wrote the vision down in the Rise Up, and then I took a picture of it with my phone. So it's like in my favorites. And, you know, sometimes like if you're crunched on time, like whenever, like you might be going to the bathroom and you just pull it up, you know, just get it done. Like it's just an easier way to have it on hand.
That's
I love
smart.
that. Yeah, you have to remind yourself, however you do it, you have to remind yourself of your goals every single day.
Yeah.
So you can see what the priorities are that you actually need to be doing. Because there's so many things to do. And especially in this business, if your goals are around, like when I say LYBYE, I'm sure you have a lot of goals, but I speak to our Team Beachbody business and what we do. And there's a lot of fun things we do. Like this is fun. Getting together with my peeps is fun. Like sitting down to send out invites for me is not as fun. Like that's not the fun part of the job. So that's the easier part to set aside. But likely that's the sort of stuff that you need to be doing that you're not doing to get you to that ultimate goal. You know, so it's like when I sit down and really remind myself of that goal, or when I can sit and like look in my vision board and I'm really, like I said, I'm really visual, like for me, I get amped up. And you can do all sorts of cool priming processes too. Like if you do work with Tony Robbins, you can do priming and breath work, or even just like if you're not feeling it, it's the whole concept of like move a muscle, change a thought. Like turn on your favorite music, stand up, jump up and down, you know, hoot and holler a few times and just change your physical state. Change your physical state so you can get to that space where you're like, okay, I'm going to sit down and hammer out my work. And I think all of you know, like when it comes to BAT, I don't just do like 3, 3, and 3s. Like, oh, like I'm going to talk to 3 people, connect to 3 people and blah, 3. Like I literally batch my work because my brain, it's like it's jagged for me to like try to start something and stop it. So for me, it's like, I'll spend a day and do like 50 to 100 follow-ups. And then I'll do a day where I just sit down and like add to my network and start connecting with people, like just a ton of people at once. Not everybody likes that because your results are different. Like if you send 100 follow-ups out, you might get, 20 or 50 people that write you back,
At
and
a
that might
time.
be too much. But for me, I do better when I have one task and I can just like copy, paste, or like, stay focused on one single thing. So you have to really figure out what works for you too, and what brings you joy while you're going through the process of work. Not everything's fun. Anybody else want to share?
Something that I just started doing, I'm working with Brooke now, and something that I started doing, what she had us like write our vision and then record ourselves reading it. So I listen to my goals.
That's a good idea.
I listen to my goals every day, and that's on my phone. So wherever I am, I just have it on my voice memo. And so I listen to it every morning, like when I'm getting ready, brushing my teeth, getting my clothes on to work out. So it's just to me, I found it very powerful because it's in my own voice of what has happened over this next year. And she had it like, you write out what this next year you want to look like, right? Like it's already happened and you are reading it back to you. So that's been really fun. So we'll see how that all turns out. And I'm going to tweak it because after I listened to it a few times, I was like, I think there's some stuff missing. So I'm going to tweak it again.
That's an incredible practice. Thanks for sharing that. And congrats on your investment in working with Brooke and in your investment in yourself. She's incredible.
Thank you. I am so ridiculously excited.
Brooke is the bomb.
Okay. Who's Brooke?
Brooke Ritchie is a mindset coach.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, a lot of us girls work with her. I met her, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something. Me and Megan met her at a conference, and she ended up doing a presentation for the team, and then just did a special offering a money mindset course just for our team. And then a lot of the girls decided to work with her independently. If you are looking for a mindset coach, I highly recommend her. I think everybody here does. Okay, so let me pop the slides up really quick. I'm just gonna also mute.
Mayor, I was going to just add
Oh, yeah.
one more thing about living your best year ever. I just wanted to wait for everybody to go. So we talked about this. I did my little team thing yesterday, but so I just wanted to reiterate because it was something that came up for us. We, I don't know if you guys did the values assessment. There was a values assessment in living your best year ever. That is a super important step that sometimes people skip over. Because one of the things that I'll notice is if people go through living your best year ever, but they don't actually do the steps, or they can say things like, I had these goals and I really wanted them. I really wanted them to happen. But for some reason, I just didn't. It didn't happen. Usually it's because it's butting up against your values. And until you know and switch your mindset around the things that you want, also aligning with the goals that you have, like the way that you feel about going about those goals really, really matters. And I've seen this play out in my business a lot because when I was, thank you, somebody just posted the link there. When I was in my third year business, after 2 years in the lead, I came up against this point where I felt like pushing for some of my goals actually broke rapport and connection with some of the people that I really cared about. And it wasn't until I realized and did the values assessment and realized like one of my top 3 values is love and connection. It's like contribution, love, and connection. And when I felt like the goals that I was shooting for broke or butted up against those values, I stopped pushing for them, right? I stopped looking at it. And it wasn't until I did a lot of deep diving work to realize that wasn't a problem with my goals. It was a problem with how I was viewing my goals as it related to my values. And when I've done work since, like I do a gratitude practice. If you haven't read the book, The Magic, it's fantastic. But there's this whole practice of going through like, how many times a day do you allow yourself to think of the reasons you're grateful for your business and all the different elements of your business? Because what you put out there, you attract to you, right? And so I started viewing invites and things about my business that I didn't enjoy necessarily at that season. I started to shift my perspective. Like inviting wasn't me breaking rapport. It was me building rapport and love and connection with people. It was me offering and expanding that part of my value structure, right? It wasn't me when I was checking into my coaches and building team calls and doing things that had become a little bit stale at that point, like 3 years ago. I needed to switch my perspective on how I could be grateful for it and like how it was helping me build those elements of things that mattered to me as far as my values were concerned. So I just wanted to share that with you guys so that you could kind of, if you come up against that, maybe not right now, but maybe as you start to work towards some of these goals, or you feel like you've lost some of the motivation toward it, or you've looked at some of the ones in years past and you wonder why you kind of gave the flame went out on them, it's usually because you haven't aligned them with your value structure. So just kind of pay attention to that value piece because it can be skipped, but it's super, super important.
Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for adding the link. Let me get the slides up. And okay. Why is this box not going away? You guys can see the slides, right? Yeah, thumbs up. Okay, cool. Thanks, Connie. Okay. Y'all know the 4 behaviors, 4 vital behaviors: be proof the products work, invite, connect, follow up, help people get results. Success Club, we all know what that is. Help 3 people get started on a challenge bag. Hit Success Club 5 or hit Success Club 10. Success starters, you hit Success Club in your first, second, and third business month in your business, or at least 3 of the first 6 calendar months. And you become a success starter and you earn your ticket to Coach Summit. Rank advance your business. So you can also get into all the fun stuff. This is very important. These are the baselines of the business. I'm not going to dig into this too much because we do this every single week. Big shout out to everybody on the volume board, to Katie Moore and to Moira, who are the top coaches this past week. Also to Ilana and to Leanne, who were also in the 1000 Club. Freaking killing the volume, ladies. Proud of you. Lots of people in the 500 and up club and the 300 and up club. It's important to be on the volume board because this is representative of you getting new clients in the door, having great client retention, and also receiving commissions outside of your cycle bonuses. Especially if you're not a ranked coach getting cycle bonuses, you want to be on that volume board because then you know you're earning income. Good Vibe Tribe Success Club board update. Tons of you in Success Club. I didn't add it up yet, but we still have 3 more days, 29, 30, 31. 3 more days left this month. So congratulations to all of you. I'll pop those in the team page. Wanted to give a big shout out to Kier for becoming a new Emerald coach. She's now opened her business center for cycle bonuses. So not only does she get 25 to 40% in commissions as a coach, she now gets $14 team cycle bonuses based on the growth and volume in her business. So cycle bonuses really grow as you help your coaches become successful at their goals. And also a big shout out to our newest diamond coach, Kim. Congratulations on achieving diamond. She's now earning $18 team cycle bonuses. She has a team of at least 12, possibly more than that. A couple of emeralds on her team, and she has now joined all of our diamond pages. So congratulations to you, Kim, for stepping into this role in your leadership. It's so monumental to start the year this way. You all know our December promos and happenings are on the back end now, but $20 off 9-week Control Freak challenge packs. Just so you know, MBF and MBFA are now in our member libraries. So definitely make sure your challengers know about that if they didn't opt in. And also, I didn't get a slide up because Courtney called me. I blame Courtney. She called me right before this call. But anyway, there is a super weekend happening on January 9th. So put that on your book right now. I have a card for it posted in the team page. You can also see it in the Coach Online office. But super weekend is definitely something that you want to attend. So for those of you that haven't been to a super weekend event or haven't been to a January super weekend, the January event's the best event of the year because there's all the announcements of things that are to come. Team Beachbody always has more stuff going on at the top of the year to welcome in the new year. They announce so many exciting things. So definitely make sure you get on that. Those of you that were planning on going on this year's Success Club trip to Maya Riviera, please make sure you check your email. Unfortunately, I know Lauren's already like, Unfortunately, because of COVID, we are not going to have a Team Beachbody Success Club trip. However, that being said, one of the things that Team Beachbody has done has organized it so that you can still use what you've earned as resort credit. So if you do want to take an independent trip with your team, your family, your friends, you'll still be able to do that. So please, if you're going on that trip, make sure you find that email in your inbox. You read it all about it and your options, because you do have the option, if you don't want to do that, to get a full refund, including your $300 deposit. So definitely make sure, sorry, there's a hair in my face. So definitely make sure that you find that email. All right, so that was all the announcements that I wanted to share. And really today, I just wanted to dig more into LYBYE and starting our year really, really strong. So we can definitely continue to talk about what you're discovering with LYBYE, or I can field questions. The leaders here can field questions that you have on stepping into the new year or trying to reverse engineer your goals. I will say, before I kind of open it back up to just roundtable discussion, a few things that I've already noticed, and I notice this every single year this happens, is right after Christmas, your sales, your interest starts picking back up. Why? Obviously, because everybody did like what everybody does at the holidays, and they stuff their face and they feel like crap and they want to get on track, right? So if you're not posting on your pages and your stories and talking about your challenges that you have coming up in January and things that people can do now and enroll for now, you're missing the boat. So some people have holiday money and they're looking to invest it in themselves. Some people, they're just glad to be done holiday shopping for other people, and they see what they have left and they're like, okay, I have some money and I have some wiggle room. Other people are just like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Other people are realizing New Year's is literally in a couple of days and they want to start strong. And also more and more people now are showing, and there's a lot of marketing happening just across the health and wellness and fitness industry. This is a big time of year. So there's marketing coming at people from all angles. So, you know, as a business owner, you really want to utilize this very unique time to be able to help people. And one of the things I know that I'm doing right now, and one of the things I noticed too, is because so many of us have already started 9-week Control Freak, we're certainly still talking about it, but I think a lot of people are looking for something that they feel like they're not late in the game on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can still join us, get in now. Whereas other people are promoting it like we start on January 11th, 4th, whatever it is. So get really clear on what you're inviting for. Get really clear on the date you want people to start and the date they need to be enrolled by. That is offering a deadline. We always tell you you have to have a deadline. Otherwise, you're leaving open-ended. People don't know when and how to pull the trigger, right? So with the current VIP group we have now, we had already determined that we would start the challenge group guide on January 11th. It takes about 2 weeks for shipment. So I would tell people, start right now and get your bundle, because the group is like going full throttle, and all the new women that are enrolling now are doing their hard start either when they get their equipment or on January 11th. So I'm really clear with people, like some people jump in quick because they're so excited. Other people will wait for January 11th or have a second offering. So that's something that I always do every month of the calendar year. Irregardless, sorry that there's these lines right in my face. Irregardless of if we've got a launch challenge going on, like 9-week Control Freak, or when we had MM100, or when we had 10 rounds, or when we had Lift 4, or any of these things. These programs are not 21 days. Every single month of the calendar year, I put a 21-day challenge on my books. This is just something I've done. I'm not saying it's something you need to do. This is what has guaranteed me, I feel like, has guaranteed me success. Because every couple of weeks, I am promoting a new challenge with a new start date, with a new theme, with new energy, with new slides, and that sort of thing. So people don't feel like they're getting leftovers or late or a tired piece of marketing. Because, right, like, yeah, you'll look at something so many times and eventually buy it, but also you'll look at something so many times and then be like, I'm moving on. So freshen things up. If it's like, it can be the same thing you're promoting, but you could just like freshen up the slide, change the color, change the music, change the font, right? Change some of the languaging around it. Or think about any additional things that you're offering. So for me, I'm still I'm doing 9-week Control Freak. I love it. I'm inviting for 9-week Control Freak as well, but I'm also doing a 21-day challenge that starts January 11th. And it is a well-being challenge, because I know that there is another category of people who maybe don't want to take control, right? Maybe they don't want to put up a door strap in their living room. Maybe they are just coming back from a long hiatus with fitness or working on their blood pressure or their cholesterol, and they're more interested in nutrition or like mindset after the holidays. So I'm using our app for everything. It's 21 days of guided meditations, 21 days of focused nutrition, and 21 days of movement. So when I say movement, that can either be workouts on BOD, or it can be, if they have a Peloton, they can ride a Peloton. If they want to take a walk, they can take a walk. If they want to stretch their body every day, they can stretch their body every day. So I will offer 4 21-day calendars that they can pick from, or that rather, once I know what their fitness ability or preferences are, I will suggest to them. 21-day fix. So we've got various levels of that, right? So by this point, I'm usually guiding people in a 21-day fix real time. Shift shop, which is like my favorite 21-day fitness program. 3-week yoga retreat, and muscle burns fat. Those are the 4 that I have, that I'm like, and then I have like hybrid calendars and that sort of thing too. So my whole thing right now when I'm emailing people, because I'm still promoting 9-week Control Freak, but today I'm going to start talking more about the second challenge I have. And I will say, I haven't been getting interested parties in a minute. And as soon as that holiday passed, my inbox is starting to get bumping again. Like, people want to get on track. So do not delay. I've already had like 3 signups since Christmas. And it was like before Christmas, like the dust thing blowing through. So I'm going to be using our 21-day unstressed meditation challenge, basically. So they're going to have a meditation every single day. And then I will be discussing with each person when they come in, whether they're going to be doing 2B mindset or ultimate portion fix. Like we can kind of talk about that. But outside of that, what I'm putting together is, and I haven't put it together yet, but I work good under the gun. I'm going to be putting together an ebook, basically a PDF on Canva, where I take the 2B mindset, plate it system, and put it in there and teach them that on day one. Because here's the reality with those programs. If you say to someone, if somebody's ready to get started and they really are focused on nutrition and you're like, we want you to start on 2B mindset, watch video 1. They don't just start day 1 when they're ready. They got to learn. They've got to watch 20 minutes of videos to even find out how they plate their first meal. So I want to give everybody a PDF that spells out, here's the highlights. Here's how you do 2B mindset. Here's your plate it method. That is literally 2B mindset, right? In a nutshell, here's your plate it method. This is what you need to do, drink water and eat veggies most. So that's what I'm giving people. And then in my group, in my Facebook group, what I'll be doing is also going live and talking about all the additional things. So breaking little snippets down of what, Alana talks about, but also teaching them portion fix. So not having to push them into it, but getting them familiar with the plated system so that when they're waiting for their containers to come, because granted, they're going to take 2 weeks, they can already be eating the plated system. They can be understanding what macronutrition is, why macronutrition is important, why proper portions are important. So by the time that they get their containers, they're excited, even if they only have 1 week left or 2 weeks left of their challenge, they're excited to start using them. And they can either then layer them into 2B or they can go their own way with them. So this is what I'm doing. I'm not saying this, I'm just sharing how I'm starting 2021 strong. So now that I'm talking about 2 things, when people come into my inbox, right, it's a little bit confusing because there's 2 things, right? So I'm telling them, I'm asking them what their goals are. I say, I've got 2 things going on that you can take part in. I've got our 9-week Control Freak test group. These are the workouts I've been doing that you see me talking about. It's so much fun. I hope you join in. And in January, I'm also doing a 21 well-being challenge. It's an easy layer. You could do both of them at the same time. It's all the same cost, but it's an easy thing to layer. But if you're looking for finding out what they're looking for, right? My question always to them is, tell me a little bit about you. What are your biggest struggles? What are your goals with your health and your fitness? And what are your nutritional preferences? And then I put in parentheses vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, or paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, pescatarian, etc. So it's not a long email, and they can hit me back and tell me more about them. Because, I'm going to have women, I have somebody signing up she's, not in shape. She had a shoulder dislocation last year. She's, 200 and some odd pounds, and she wants to lose about 50 pounds. And she doesn't want to be hard on herself, And so she did get a 9-week Control Freak bundle, but I don't know if she's going to do 9-week Control Freak. Because what I'm going to have her do is we're going to be focused on nutrition. And I'll have her try some of the workouts. And if she doesn't do 9-week Control Freak, we have an arsenal of other great things that she can do, including our guided meditations. She could do, if she wants to do low impact, right? We've just gotten to the point where she just purchased her bundle. I do my action plans on the phone with people. So what I do after I enroll someone is I do a one-on-one call. Not everybody does this. And in that one-on-one call, again, I go through with them where's your fitness at right now? How long do you like to work out for? How many days a week would you like to work out? What style of workout do you like? Do you like low impact? Do you like higher impact? Do you like cardio? Do you like to be outdoors? Do you like to be indoors? Do you have hand weights at home? Weights are still a hard thing to get in the pandemic, right? Do you have hand weights? So I find out all those things. The calls vary. It really depends on the individual. Shauna was asking how long they are. It depends on the individual, because some people pretty much know. Do you know what I mean? Some people are got it, I'm good, I'm clear, I just need a program. And then other people want a lot more support. I usually block about 30 minutes for those calls though. So it just depends. Some people don't have 30 minutes. Other people love that. And so it's just an initial opportunity for me to get to know them. And then by the end of that call, I tell them what I'm thinking is going to be best for them. And then I tell them I'm going to send them an email with their action plan And that's essentially like, then I write them and I say, I want you to follow the program that's called TV Mindset. Here is how you access it. I think the best fitness program for you is, if there's a couple that I'm not sure that they're going to like, then I'll write those down and say, try one workout from each of these programs. And if there's one that resonates with you most, that's the one I want you to follow. So I really just listen to them and then tell them, I'll send them their action plan, especially if the conversation's getting really, some people will love to talk for a long time. But if you only block it 30 minutes, you can even tell to them at the beginning of the call, or when you're designing the call, when you're offering it, you can say, like, I just say a one-on-one call. But you can even say to someone, you know, I set 20 minutes aside for our first one-on-one call. And I always say first, because on that call, I also am really clear with people how I work. And I say, you know, we work in a group community. I generally send like follow-ups with you on like audio messenger, because that's usually where I'm talking to people anyway. I usually send follow-ups on private messenger. You know, is that okay with you, or are you not on social? Are you better with email? If so, do you want me to check in with you weekly? What's best for you? And I also just let people know that I expect an open line of communication from them, and I'm here to help them whenever they need me. But I need them to meet me halfway. So I really, like, I almost release myself of some responsibility by telling people, like, we're working together. Like, I'm here for you, but I need you to be here for you, right? And you've got to let me know if you're falling off track. If I don't see you, if I don't hear back from you, you're going to get nudges from me, you know, but I need you to meet me halfway. And so I usually focus my follow-ups with those individuals for the first, like, if it's a 21-day program, I do like once a week for 21 days, right? So I'll have a day of the week where I'm like, okay, I haven't checked in with so-and-so yet. I need to check it. And I'll send them a little message. Hey, I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you. How's your nutrition going? And then beyond that 21 days, it really just depends. I gauge my client. If it's been 21 days and they're just not responding to me, I'm not going to stay on them. I told them I need them to meet me halfway, right? But if it's somebody who's like, I really like the check-ins, how hard is it for me to do a quick little check-in on audio? It is not hard, right? It's just part of what I do with my business hour. So I just monitor that going forward. And of course, a lot of the women end up joining the team, and then it's much easier because once they're in the team, they start to really feel part of the community, and they can get on the calls and whatnot and feel like a closer connection. But that's how I'm starting that was a lot of words, but that's how I'm starting the year strong. Is I have two things I'm doing: 9-week control freak and my 21-day well-being challenge. And that works for me. And I always offer up to everyone, if you want to partner with me on anything, you're welcome to. I'll be doing that in my Sweat and Soul page. Okay, all that shared. What else do you guys want to talk about today? Or does somebody else want to share something from LYBYE, a goal or something that's working for them, or have any questions?
I'll go. I always try to like give everyone else a chance because I'm so chatty. So I'm really excited. This is just kind of a statement. I did Moira's Rise Up course, which I think really got me more focused. I highly recommend that course. But I'm feeling like I'm excited for the Living Your Best Year Ever, to see where my goals were when I did that program and what they're like now, because I'm kind of feeling like, you know, I do the same thing every day. I'm very routine and I love it, but I'm like, I need a little bit of fire. So thank you, Jacqueline, for what you said. And I'm excited to see like where those come together and if they cross over and if things have changed, which I'm sure they have. So I'm excited to do the two different, or compare the two different and go from there. Just a statement.
I love that you did. I love that you're doing both. I love that you invested in Rise Up early on. And it is interesting, and it's ever evolving. And it's like the Rise Up gave you a really good jumpstart early in your coach career. And then this is going to really solidify, especially now that you have some experience, about what that looks like to reverse engineer an annual goal that has like hard start and end dates. Kudos to you for doing that. And to answer your question in the box, Jess had asked, it makes sense to enroll people with the latest release, right? Yes, generally, yes. It just depends. Like I have another woman that just enrolled with me and I did not. I signed her up with an MBF challenge pack because that's what she wanted. So she wasn't going to, we already knew she wasn't going to do, she was here to do nutrition. She had bought already. but she wasn't necessarily interested in 9-week Control Freak. It wasn't appealing to her. And so we looked at the different offers that were available. And so first one, of course, would have been 30-day breakaway. Obviously we have muscle burns fat, so she doesn't need it, but she wasn't interested in 30-day breakaway or the collateral. She was interested in doing muscle burns fat. So she was interested in getting that collateral. So that's the completion pack she ended up getting. And then also very like with nutrition, I think if somebody is like really not that interested, there's so much on our website, right? Or on our app now. Like if someone's really not that interested in nutrition, fitness, and they just need a gateway and they don't have a lot of money, they can get a basic bod challenge pack that has both nutrition programs for what, like 140, 160, I can't remember what it is now. So, 9-week Control Freak, yeah, they get a lot of tools and stuff, but if they're not that excited about the fitness aspect, why spend $40 more? So I usually start high and work backwards. That's like a sales tactic as a business person. Like if you're going to offer 3 levels, start with a higher price point and then peel back. Because if you start low and then try to work high, it doesn't really work in your favor. The other thing, and I know Courtney Burton does this a lot and talks about it, languaging, is when I explain to people what they get, I really talk about their enrollment their enrollment is their fitness starter bundle, and it gets them everything, including a trial month to either our superfoods blend, our pre-workout and post-workout, or they can opt for a trial to all 3. So I call it a trial month, just like Courtney does. And that way they know that at the end of the month, if they don't want it, they can go to the self-service part of the website and do a little chat in and downgrade from that service. And I always tell them it's easy to do, but if you need support, I'm always here for you. And I always also offer people the money back guarantee. It's like the last thing, if there ever seems to be pushback with money, I always say, and just in case you're not aware, there is a 100% 30-day money back guarantee. So if you do the full challenge with me and even use your supplements and you don't feel like you got the results you were looking for, or it was the right fit for you, you can return it and I will even help you with that. And then I always add in, but no one ever does. You are going to love your results and love how you feel, because nobody ever does. I mean, like I've gotten returns, but let's be real. It's not very common that I like make a challenge pack sale and then get a return, because I make sure my customers get results,
Let me ask you a question. And I've heard Megan explain this with, I don't remember in what group or what challenge we were doing. How long do you think it takes for somebody to really feel the benefits of Shakeology? Because like I heard Megan, you say one time, like do it for 3 months, right? And then you say, I don't know, I feel like I have people kind of all over the board. I've had somebody literally cancel the shake before they even got it in the mail, right? Which I definitely don't understand that. But when you're speaking to them, how long do you encourage them if they ask? Like I don't know.
Usually with any, I was just going to say too, and you can answer this too. I was going to say with any herbal supplements altogether, anytime you're working with herbs, adaptogens, or anything, if you go to a naturopath is going to want you to stay on a supplement program for like at least a couple to like 12 weeks, 9 to 12 weeks, right? Because herbs take a while to build up in your system to work. And that's what Shakeology is. It's an herbal blend. So yeah, I definitely suggest to people, like, you're going to feel it over time, but also I think it's different for the person. Cause like for myself, my digestion it's always been really off. But when I started, I did start with 2 shakes a day, which I know most people don't do, but I used to drink a lot of smoothies because I was teaching yoga and it was just what worked for me to keep lightness in my belly. I was doing 2 shakes a day, and literally Andy started calling it crackology by like my 3rd day, because I had energy like I hadn't had in like years. My elimination cycle was returning, which is something that I struggled with my entire life. So for me, I felt the effects a lot sooner, but I also dosed up because I really loved it. But I think everybody's really different, depending on like what their ailments are or how their body already feels. And also there's a mental commitment, right? Like if you are canceling something before you even get it, you probably already don't believe it's going to be working for you. Mm-hmm. And as we all know, like nutrition and fitness, they work synergistically, you know, they work together. So it's like, once people start and they're doing the fitness and the nutrition together, and when I say nutrition, like using Shakeology or using performance with our workouts, it's like, that's when you start to realize like, oh, it's like it's a comprehensive program. Like you need all the little pieces of it to feel absolutely optimal. Sorry for cutting you off, Megan. Why don't you jump in and share too?
That's okay. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely noticed that I was going to the bathroom easier and was having less IBS symptoms within the first week. But here's why I don't tell other people that they're going to feel the benefits in a week. Number one, because a lot of people will comprehend that as I'm going to lose a bunch of weight and I'm going to like feel completely different in a week. And we all know that that's not going to happen. Like they're going to feel better. They will see results if they're following Portion Fix and using Shakeology, but you want to be careful when you're talking about Shakeology with somebody who has weight loss goals as like Shakeology is the reason you're going to lose weight, because then that's inserting kind of a diet mentality. It's not a weight loss shake. It is a formula combination of superfoods that over time, as we give our body these potent superfoods, it's going to, our bodies all at different rates will adjust, and you know, depending on what we're doing already in our life to detox, you know, daily, or to, you know, what we're using and what our lifestyle is. But for me, like my acne, it took 2 years being on Shakeology for my hormones to balance out, for my periods to get regular. And, you know, that was also with having a baby. But I think I say 3 months, because not only do I want them to stay on it for themselves, but that also gives me time, if they're signed up as a discount coach, to sign up some other people. So that's a good business way. But it's also 3 months because that's generally, like Meredith said, when you're working with somebody and you're prescribing them, you know, herbal supplements or a foundational like nutrition regimen to follow with certain foods, that gives your body enough time to introduce those new foods and to balance it out and to feel the benefits. Because sometimes there's a little bit of not uneasiness, but like when you start to eat more fruits and vegetables and you're not used to that, you could get a little bloating at first. Your microbiome has to catch up. Like Shakeology works on our body in a very deep level. Yeah, so I always say like you're going to want to be on it for a couple months to really feel all of the benefits. However, like you are going to have energy and you're going to feel less cravings right away, just because it tastes delicious, but it has those adaptogen herbs in it that are going to help help everything balance out. And I don't get too nerdy with people about it. I try to keep it very simple. But yeah, I mean, it's different for everybody, but I like people to stay on it for at least 3 months, because that gives them a really great baseline from which to kind of determine like, how did I feel 3 months ago? So yeah.
Which, by the way, the new video about Shakeology that came out last night.
Where?
I died.
Website? On the website?
Where is it?
I mean, I found it on Instagram. It was under like Carl's and Team Beachbody. Oh my God, you have to watch it.
It's on Vimeo. You'll love it, Megan. I put it in the team page, so you can find it there in the Vimeo link there as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing that. Thanks you guys for sharing all that. Anyone else want to share or ask questions or have a plan for 2021, going into 2021 strong, a marketing plan they want to share?
I mean, I have one, but I don't want to keep talking. I want someone else to talk. I feel like I overrun things. So I'll be quiet, but if no one else wants to go.
No, share. I want to hear.
Okay. So one of my coaches that I'm really excited about, her name is Beth Samuels. I'm sure you guys have seen her showing up more lately. We are going to run a group in our own Facebook group. It's called, she came up with the idea, New Year, New You. And we're really focusing on individually, right? So Mary, when you talk about like a wellness plan, that's what we're focusing on. And we put together a 31-day calendar, talking about really diving into Shakeology and the different nutrition plans and breaking those down like daily. and for the people and we're running in the current group we have, like a Sweat and Soul Studio, mine is Studio Evolution. And we're just bringing new people into that community. So we're giving them the option. It's kind of the same idea, giving the people the option, but it's the new year, new you. And she has a lot of people who really want to focus on weight loss. So that's what we are doing for January, in addition to 9-week Control Freak, but that's separate.
I love it. What are your program offerings? Like, have you guys gone through and determined like, okay, we want everyone to enroll with the challenge pack, or people can enroll with standalone BOD, or people can enroll with standalone? Have you guys thought about that much?
Yeah, I really push for you have to enroll with the challenge pack. I mean, I don't ever want to tell somebody no if they don't want it, but I just explain the financial benefits to doing a challenge pack versus it just doesn't make sense to do it the other way in my mind. And I also feel like what I learned from you a long time ago, Maris, if you let people just in the group under, like, if they just want to do, on demand, they're using other supplements and things, and I don't want to take the chance of somebody using or promoting, not intentionally promoting, but talking about things that aren't our business. So I make it a requirement to be a challenge pack. Is that a bad idea?
No, that's what I do.
Okay.
But certainly, I'm not suggesting that one way is the right way or wrong way, because there's a lot of ways. I mean, that's the beauty of this business. Jacqueline has some great presentations on volume-based businesses, and I've done some presentations on it as well. And like, you don't want to just turn someone down just because they don't have the money or want to spend the money, but you do have to kind of go through a pre-selection process where you have to decide, like, what are their intentions? Because again, you're matching pace, like you're putting energy in too, right? And you get paid off your commission, right? And it's like, if you're going to put energy into this person, they need to be willing to meet you halfway and to make the investment in themselves. And I always tell people, and everybody's different, there are some coaches who actually make you purchase Shakeology or make a purchase every single month as a customer to stay in their groups, right? Because they offer a lot of value and that's how they get paid. So, and they're very outright about that. I've never done that. I rather have always told my customers, like, when you come in, you do pay, you do purchase a challenge pack. It's your one-time enrollment fee for the year. You will have to, your bottle renew after a year. Your supplements, they're going to start rolling in every single month unless you cancel it, or at any time we can upgrade you so you start to a VIP member, so you start receiving your savings. But you have a lifetime membership to my studio, so you can opt in for any challenge. Because my whole thing is, like, if somebody loves Beachbody and I'm like, hey, you have to buy to stay with me, what's going to happen? Well, in 6 months from now, when they actually are like, well, I just really want some, they're just like, I just want support and I'm going to buy occasionally. I'm not going to buy every month, but maybe I'll buy every other month, or maybe I'll buy every 3 months, or maybe I'll eventually find the thing that I fall in love with and start staying on that. Like, there's so many Beachbody coaches out there, right? Like, somebody else is going to essentially get that customer because I'm not willing to have them in my community. Like, what am I doing?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, you have to kind of pick and choose there.
Well, and also I think too, like, I had some people with 9-week Control Freak who weren't doing, they were in the group, but they weren't doing anything else. They were like just in Studio Evolution. And then now they're doing shakes and they got 9-week Control Freak, and they, I'm really starting to push more of the Energize, because Energize has like changed everything. I took a drink of it this morning and I said out loud to myself, this is like fucking crack. It tastes so good. It is so good. So, I mean, I feel like keeping them in there is, there's a chance that they'll purchase stuff and become consistent. So.
I was gonna say, Meredith taught me in the very beginning to keep the just an open challenge group, and that's what I do. I say, once you sign up once, you're in my boot camps for life unless you leave, and it's up to you. And I talked about this a couple of months ago. That group now is it'll be 4 years old in March. There's almost 800 people in there, and because it's like, for me and my downline, right? All my other coaches, when they're getting going, I'm like, just invite them in this community so they have support. You guys, with launches, you wonder how I hit High Success Club. Those are my warm leads. Those are people that know, like, and trust me, and that have purchased from me in the past. People that have purchased from you in the past are more likely to purchase from you again because they know you're good for it. So every 6 months, I have clients that buy a challenge pack, cancel their Shakeology after a month or two, and do the challenge. Like right now they're doing 9-week Control Freak with me. So they're going to be drinking Shakeology for 3 months or whatever, and they bought the challenge pack. They'll cancel their Shakeology. Guess what? The big summer launch, whatever that is, they'll buy a challenge pack with Shakeology or Performance Line for the big summer launch. And I get 2 points for Success Club. So you guys, the people in my group those are like my warm leads, and I keep offering value and keep going in there and keep coming back, and they're going to keep coming back. And I just did a post yesterday, 2 days ago in the group saying, who has a plan for January 2021 and what is it? And if you don't, do you need one and how can I help? Right? And so there's people in there that are commenting that haven't commented in 2 years saying, hey, I need a plan. I need help. What should I do? Right? And then go and see if they sell VOD. Do they need VOD? I have people starting MBF on January 4th and people starting 9-week Control Freak on January 4th. And so those are the 2 programs I'm suggesting just because they'll have a big community of people doing it with them and it's going to help rally them. But I also have customers, anytime anybody signs up for BOD only, and I get a lot of free customer leads that only sign up for BOD. In my welcome email, I put my BOD group. I have a just ongoing BOD group called the Soul Unleashed Project on my BOD group. I say you're welcome to join. I go in once a week and I just approve everybody that wants to join. And I post in there maybe once a week and go in and like I don't really do a lot in there, but I will post about Shakeology or if I have a new challenge coming up. And then the people that I have a small BOD group. It's like my test group or my 9-week Control Freak group that I spend all my time in. That's where I spend all my time with all those people. So there's value to all of it, I think.
Thanks for sharing that. And always promote Energize because Energize is the highest retention product in all of Beachbody. Like literally, if somebody has Energize, they're never going back. You will always have like 35 PV on their account or whatever it is. It really is.
And it goes to show you how important it is to try the product because for the first 4 or 5 months, I never really even tried Energize.
Mm-hmm.
It was like how I know I didn't use it once. I didn't try it once, and then I tried it, and I can't live without it.
It took me a couple years to try Energize, and now I drink 2 a day.
Yeah, same. We used to have E&E, and Jacqueline would drink it all the time, and I was like, I'm not touching that shit. I'm like, no. She's like, it's so good. And I'm like, no, you're crazy. And then, of course, I tried Energize, and I was like, oh my God, I've been missing out on life. But it's also, like you're saying, it's so important to try so many different things. Like now for me, one of the what I have found as a solution for a lot of my digestive problems is using Optimize from the Ultimate Reset line. I use that daily, essentially 3 times a day. And I love it. And it's like changed the game for me, but I would have never known had I not committed and recommitted to doing the cleanse and staying on the products long term. And then one of the other things I wanted to say too, to echo off of Courtney, is especially if you're running your groups and you have your Emerald coaches are joining and new coaches and they have friends joining, right? You never know. You've got to be willing to help everyone. You'll see me in Sweat and Soul Studio. I do that too. I'm like, if you need help, you can reach out to your coach or you can reach out to me, or, if your coach isn't active in here, just reach out to me, because you never know if one of your coaches is going to be deuces, but the person that they invited in, whether maybe they'll stay a coach on your team, but they're not interested in building their business, but they brought somebody in that really wants to build hers, right? You have to remember from how the business structure is, that's volume on your team, even if they're a customer and they're purchasing more products, or if they're a coach and they're purchasing products, they're starting to build a team, that's volume for you. So you do want to be willing to create that community and help everyone. And of course, should that coach you sponsor leave the business, then their customers and their clients do roll directly up to you. So it is important to really nurture that entire team community that's built. Such good stuff. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be a wrap for today. Thanks everybody for contributing and for getting on the call today. It's so great to see your faces. I'm really excited to close up this year with you and also kick off 2021 with you. I really feel like There's going to be, I loved Michael's, Megan, I was like, Megan's probably dying. Megan loves Michael. I know, I love Michael. I love Michael. I loved his call. I was so thankful that so many of you got to hear more about the history of Team Beachbody. It's something that those of us that have been here for a while get to hear often, but I was so happy to hear you guys got to really learn about that and feel nestled in by that. And, you know, I don't know what 2021 is going to look like for travel. I certainly have tried to put only domestic stuff on the books, assuming that maybe we'll get to a place that we can start traveling again. So I am planning diamond retreats. Just dates are going to be ETA, obviously, based on a lot of things. We used to do a lot of the diamond retreats in Los Angeles so that we could take you guys for a tour at HQ. I don't know if they'll be doing those, obviously, because of social distancing and that sort of thing. But when we did in the past, we'd always do that. It was usually like a group of 10 of us or so, and we'd sit down with Michael Neiman in the office at a round table and do this thing. And it really is amazing. So, you know, let's just hope for the best that we can get back to the way things were. And meanwhile, like, get really crystal clear on your goals, because January 1 is Friday. So it's like, it's go time. Right? If you want to have a really strong start to your year, knock it out of the park in Q1 and let the rest of your year build on that. That's my best advice. I'm leaning in now because I want to have a really strong start to 2021. I love you guys. I'll see you in our team page, and have a happy, happy, happy new year. Bye.